And with that, our ship is now completely maxed out. Beautiful. The Morgan is complete. It's done. Just like that. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? And that's understandable there. And so this is kind of how I felt doing like years of Taekwondo for, you know, as long as until about half a year before COVID started after I got injured. Do I need narwhal stuff for anything? There's a narwhal thing right here. I should probably get it just to be safe. That's what I should probably do. Because I'm probably going to need like multiple stuff like this. Maybe I won't get it 100%ed tonight. Just because there's probably a whole bunch of little misc stuff like this to probably do. I don't know. But we can certainly try. Well, like, okay, when it came to Taekwondo, I started in that when I was 4 years old. And I was doing it consistently until I was like 19 or 20 or something like that. I'm 22 right now. And it was a decent bit before COVID started. It was about half a year before that I was in the middle of testing for my 3rd degree black belt. But then I freaking got injured with my left wrist and right hip, and the left wrist injury has actually been kind of coming back a little bit lately, which is not so good, and I might go back to physiotherapy for that. But I started going to physiotherapy. My training was kind of on hold for a little while because of that. And then eventually I started feeling better, and then COVID started. So like I have done some training in the meantime. Like last summer, some classes were open and such, but it was very limited access and everybody had to wear masks, and we were taking training like very lightly, because if you're, you know, working out super hard in a mask, you're gonna pass the hell out. So it was like very light exercises and such. But like my physical ability that I once had is just like not there. Like when it comes to stuff that I'd wear, I've gotten so used to like the past couple of years of just wearing like sweatpants all the time. I don't know what happened to all my jeans, but I still have a couple pairs of jeans here and there, but like I might not know where they are because I've just worn sweatpants for like the past couple of years. We can go do this now. This is what we can go get now that we have all the pillars and such. Let's go do that, sure. So it's like when I was in the peak of my training, and I mean even still to today a little bit, like I feel most comfortable on like really loose kind of stuff that has like the most freedom of movement, especially for the legs, considering, you know, Taekwondo is a kicking freaking Bob. It's a kicking martial art essentially. So like freedom of movement for the legs, even if I'm not going around freaking kicking things, it still feels nice to have that like open movement. Like it was probably a couple of years ago before I got injured that my body felt the most at like I've like confident that I can do what I need to with it, if that makes sense. Like I have the most freedom of motion, and like I need to do something to my body, I can do that, you know. Nowadays it's a little bit sketchier, and hopefully as things start easing up, once they actually start easing up for like real, not this like joke easing up that the Alberta government's currently doing of like, let's open everything up. Oh, we change our mind, close everything down. Let's open everything up. Nah, go close everything down. Once it actually starts for real opening up instead of the joke that's happening right now, and then once I can get back into my training for real, I hope to get back my physical ability that I once had and freaking be able to have this freedom movement. But like, I don't know where a lot of my jeans went anymore. When it comes to other stuff that I'd wear, I guess in the past, like, 2.5 years, they kind of get lost. And I'd always prefer sweatpants over jeans anyway, just because of, like, the freedom of movement. It's just with, like, you know, me not exactly going out to see anybody with COVID and stuff like that. There was never any real reason to. Like, I was doing school from home. I've been doing work from home. That's what the Jenga Tower of Binders is. I've been doing channel stuff from home because where else am I going to do like channel stuff here? Maybe at a venue like Fragapalooza. I was actually recently in a meeting for Fragapalooza next year, and it seems like right now plans are for it to be in person, but like we don't know what that's gonna look like, if we're gonna have to have people like provide proof of, you know, vaccination, or what the heck is gonna be going on with that whole situation. Who knows? We might also do like a thing in January, a Janland thing, so I might do something stream-wise that's not here around January, maybe. No guarantees though. But yeah, there's that. Yeah, the virus is definitely being pretty persistent. There's gotta be the final assassination contract here now, right? Where is it? What the hell? What am I missing for that? How do I unlock the final assassination contract? Don't tell me I need to freaking, you know, do all the modern day stuff. What am I missing? Hold on. Hold on. Like, there's some Shay upgrades that I'm missing, but hold on. Progress tracker. Look at this. It should be all 100% there. Yeah, that's 100% there. Hold on. Oh, I'm missing some, like, sequence stuff. I forgot about that. The category we're missing there must be the legendary ships. And then activities is at 96. Oh, Templar relics I gotta do. But, like, what about these assassination contracts? That's what I'm wondering about. How close are we to the end? Well, we have a bunch of buried treasure around the world to get. There's an assassination contract that I'm missing. There's some side objectives in some of these story missions that it looks like I'm missing. I'll change back into my freaking Edward Kenway getup though first. Like, this is cool and all, but I gotta represent with the cosplay. So we'll do that, and then maybe we'll do like the missions that we're missing, and then buried treasure or something like that. Maybe. But yeah, the whole situation with Taekwondo has been a bit weird, and it's recently come up as something that I might consider in another form, like in the near future. Like I've been having some mental battles for the past good while now. Let's go ahead and go to outfits here. And COVID definitely hasn't helped it along. The biggest mental battle just being like a loneliness of those that I interact with in person. Like, I am grateful to have, like, the community with, like, this channel and Discord and stuff like that. But there's also just something about, like, being next to somebody, being able to, you know, speak with them eye to eye, see how they're feeling through that, and actually be able to have, like, conversations through that. I mean, like, myself and the mods around the community will sometimes do, like, voice calls together talking about things. And that's like a nice in-between, but it's also still not the same kind of thing. One day I'd like to meet in person all the mods of this channel. That'd be hella cool. One day I'm sure it'll happen. So now that we're changed back into this, let's go ahead and do some of these sequences. Like, it's something that I've definitely been feeling for a good while, like, you know, meeting people, having in-person kind of interactions and such, and having some people that I can, like, really vibe with and such. Let's see here. So, progress tracker. Like, recently, what is missing here? We need to, not get detected, huh? Sure, whatever this memory is with Benjamin. So, the neighbors next door, who have only been here for, like, a couple of years now, they moved in from, like, the next province over, and like, out of my family's lake cabin, we're used to having, like, a close-knit community out there, with it being, like, a summer village and stuff like that. Things are way more close-knit out there, as opposed to things here, which are more like, can I not press plus to skip? Maybe I just press buttons to skip. Do I not skip this? Are you kidding me? I don't, well, I guess we're not skipping this.
Master Franklin, sir.
Well, I guess we're re-seeing a thingamabob here. But, like, out there, things are close-knit. Like, where it's like, you know, everybody's constantly, like, coming over to one another's houses. You don't even lock the doors out there, and people just, like, waltz in and, like, come hang out with you. That's what the environment out there is, as opposed to, like, here in the city, where it's like, nobody really knows one another, and sticks mostly to themselves, and doesn't really talk with each other a whole lot or anything. Like, it's such a different environment. Like, it was funny recently out at the lake, when there was, like, an event kind of thing going on down at the lakefront, as like a whole bunch of celebrations coming together, like a late Canada Day, an end of summer celebration, a celebration that restrictions were easing up, like all kinds of stuff, since we hadn't had a coming together in a while out there. Dang it, I guess I'm not in my cosplay in this mission because he couldn't be yet or something like that. But there was an event there, and one of the friends that we have is a chef. And he came over to our place to use our oven. He just comes in and is just like, yep, I'm using your oven. And we had some things that we needed to take down to the lakefront, and he came over in his truck. So we just started, like, putting things in the back of his truck to take down to the lakefront. And he comes out with, like, his tray of stuff that he's preparing. And we're just like, we're taking your truck. And he's like, okay. Like, it's a very different environment out there, to say the least, than it is here. It's way more close-knit in a kind of small village like that, as opposed to here, where it's, you know, everybody's very to themselves in the city, and doesn't really do a whole lot of interaction. And that's the way that it pretty much stayed until the new neighbors moved in a couple of years ago, who actually started making like an effort for, you know, to get to know people and for people to get to know each other. So from time to time they'd have, did you see the body? Oh no. Oh crud. This guy's coming over with his box. He's the one I got a tail apparently. Oh crap. I still need to not get detected, right? Yeah, I do not get detected. Dang, I just got detected as I checked that. Anyway, when the new neighbors came in, they wanted to like make things a lot more close-knit here. Get people to know each other, get to know people themselves, and so on and so forth. So from time to time, they'd have block parties, they call them. Just go down to like a whole bunch of houses in the down this block, putting invitations into the mailboxes saying like, oh, we're having a block party in the backyard for people to come together. And oh, that was a checkpoint though, nice. People to come together and like hang out and talk and stuff like that. And for the past couple of years with COVID, I really haven't had like much in-person interaction at all. And the limited interaction that I've had been, you know, through masks and such, not anything all too, and like something that's not like a social gathering, something that's purely like work stuff or something like that if I'm going into my workplace. But at this gathering that was just a couple days ago as well, a few days ago now, I'm losing track of time. All the days are freaking blending together at this point, my goodness. It was late at night. There was just a campfire going on in the backyard there. We had a whole bunch of chairs gathered around. I was right downwind from the fire, and I got like a lot of ashes and smokiness, and I had to wash my freaking scarf and hoodie and stuff like that because it smelled like I was a chain smoker or something after that. But it was interesting there talking with a lot of people, because like, I mean, usually I'm usually not one for these kinds of social gatherings, because it's usually like a whole bunch of people that are, you know, significantly older than I am. There's usually, gosh darn it, nobody really around my age range that I can like really vibe with or anything like that. Usually all these middle-aged people talk about topics that I just do not care about a lot of the time. But a few days ago at this gathering, I was actually meeting and talking with people that were like the same age as me, essentially. Or like at least one person from like a few doors down. Like there was my my neighbor next door who I'd done driving practice with, as I've probably told stories about before, with my car being an automatic and their car being a standard, and them wanting to, you know, borrow my car to practice that, so I'd go and do driving practice with her in my car and such. So like there was her that I was already familiar with and like friendos with and stuff. And then there was somebody else that like I hadn't even, well, I've probably met before, like, I know that I've met before several years ago, but didn't recognize her at all, and it was like meeting one another for the first time, and, like, actually talking to somebody in person there, it was like an epiphany moment where it's like, this is really nice, I really need more of this in my life, you know? Is kinda what it felt like a few days ago. Ah, dang, I gotta keep you in sight, I guess. I kinda had that moment where it's like, I need to do this with people, essentially. I need to have people there that I'm, you know, beside and like looking into the eyes to and like having a real kind of conversation. Oh, they're looking at another body. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's a-okay. So, probably wondering how this all leads into Taekwondo like I was talking about earlier. But with, my feelings of, you know, wanting to find people to interact with in person. What the hell? How does he know that I'm here? I'm actually so confused. I was kind of hoping that maybe I'd be able to like meet some people through some of my classes, but only 2 of my classes are in person, and which are transitioning to online for tomorrow. I don't know if they're gonna stay online. We'll see with the COVID stuff. But these classes that I'm in are like several hundred people, and everybody with like masks on and a super serious environment, because one of these classes is astronomy and the other is software engineering. It feels like everybody's got this like super serious like look on them that you know, it's hard to interact with you. I'm gonna have to make a group in this software engineering class, and I've started looking for a group in like the class forums and stuff like that. So maybe I'll meet some people through that. But for the most part, they don't seem like the most social atmospheres, to say the least. So I've honestly been looking into like some of the clubs that are going on my campus, and I'm not really much of like a clubs kind of person. Like I was part of a gaming club when it was in high school. I would come and hang out there for a bit, kick everyone's ass at Smash Bros. But usually it wasn't anything too crazy there or anything like that. I'll whistle you in here so that there's for sure no body that people can see. You're not gonna see this, are you? Wow, were you just perfectly blocked by the pole right in that one moment? Wow. Okay. And I first started having this thought when gosh darn it. I'm just gonna sleep dart this guy. It's probably my best option. My goodness gracious. It was after my first day, and after, like, the first day at uni in general. Why does that always happen whenever you kick anybody that's asleep? That they always do, like, a clubs fair and showcase a whole bunch of, like, clubs and stuff like that. It was raining at the time, and, like, you know, they had a whole bunch of coverings over their stuff that they put up in panic, but... So it wasn't quite as extravagant as previous years. I think they had, like, even, like, full-on tents set up in previous years for, in case of the rain, but they didn't this year, and I don't know why. Okay, yeah, I still haven't gotten detected. Just making sure, because the game likes to be weird sometimes. So I was looking around at like some of the clubs there, and I know that one of the clubs that they have is a Pokemon club. I've gone on like an email like of interest list in previous years, but haven't like followed through or really done anything with it before. And I had like a look-see at it again, but I probably wouldn't do anything with it. And I feel like a Pokemon club is one of those things that would like intrigue me, but at the same time is the kind of thing that I wouldn't want to like get near at all. Essentially, the kind of thing that I'd be interested in being a part of, while at the same time the kind of thing that I'd really prefer to not be a part of at all. Like, my video essay criticizing Pokemon has really taken off, and there's a lot of people who really hate my guts for it. It's received like mostly positive reception. It's like a 92% like ratio or something like that, so it's like mostly positive reception. But there are some people who really, really hate my guts for it. And if there's like a whole university club dedicated to Pokemon, considering how many people have seen that video, I wouldn't be surprised if there'd be some people in that club who've seen it before. And if they put the pieces together, it's him. Could potentially hate my guts. I'm probably way overthinking things there, and that probably wouldn't happen, but even with a chance, I can't help but have that thought in the back of my mind of like, what if that happened, you know? So, and I mean, even if I just like shared my kind of thoughts on the business practices of Pokemon, there'd probably be some people that would just like, get the hell out. Like, my whole YouTube comment section of my Pokemon essay has kind of made me afeared of the Pokemon fan base in some ways, through that kind of thing. Yeah, I did the thing of do not get this. I can just skedaddle out here now. But so I might not do that. But the clubs shown at the clubs fair weren't like all the clubs going on my university. There's like an actual site where you can find all the ones going on. So I wound up looking into it and seeing what's there. And apparently there is one that's focused on like wellness and happiness and like making connections with other people. So I might potentially see about attending that at some point. But yeah, if there are old-time fans that like to agree with you, and there are new fans that are likely to disagree, that could well be. Could well be the case. But I might just not find out and just not go in the first place. Is what I may do. But I mean, also one of my classes that I'm taking right now is focused on you know, the study of happiness and like being happy in life, and I have to write like daily entries in this class of doing like a different thing each week. The current week is like take every day a 10-minute healthy eating activity or something like that. Maybe I should do that while I'm streaming, just go grab an apple, a bunch of that. That's my 10-minute healthy eating activity while I'm streaming. Why can't I skip these? I'm so confused. You're literally replaying a mission you've done already and you can't skip it. I'm so confused. I thought you could for sure skip these. It's so weird. Maybe I'm just not pressing the right buttons as I press all of them. Like, I can press plus and pause it, but unless it is a thing here. Nah, doesn't seem like. Sure doesn't seem like. But yeah, we'll see what this class can do for me. I might go to this club that's supposed to be about like making connections with other people and see what things are like there. And I more recently heard, and here's where the story finally leads back into getting back into Taekwondo. Apparently there's a Taekwondo club on my university campus. And I'd never heard of it before. I've just heard about it from like others. I haven't even freaking looked it up yet myself to like confirm. I should do that tonight after the stream is what I should do. I haven't gotten around to it yet because of all the crazy family stuff going on, I guess. But I've heard that there's apparently a Taekwondo club on my campus. So that might actually be something really intriguing. Like, when it comes to clubs that are part of like some hobby that you haven't done before, then it's like you show up as a complete outsider having no idea what the heck is going on, and you know, you have to be introduced to like everything and all that stuff and start from nothing. But before COVID started and before I got freaking injured, I was in the middle of testing for my 3rd degree black belt was a thing. So it's like I have experience in the field and do not get stunned by smoke. Okay, let's go do that. So if that is something that I went to, Gangstalker, thanks for telling me. Oh, and now I'm wearing this. And like, I'd still be an outsider showing up to like do stuff with a bunch of people that, you know, I've never met before. Unless there were people from my school, my Taekwondo school, that started going there who are like university students. I don't know, maybe. But it'd be as someone who's like, this one I can skip, why couldn't I skip the other ones? Or maybe I could and I didn't notice it because my microphone kind of blocks the bottom right of the screen. But that one I could for sure skip. Freaking weird. I don't get it, man. But yeah, I'd still be showing up as like an outsider, but maybe it'd be as an outsider where it's like, hey, I have experience in this field. I'm a little bit out of practice, but you know, maybe I could make some connections through that. Is the thing. Maybe. I don't know. So when it comes to you know, current day happenings of like me trying to do different things, I guess right now I'm trying to figure out how to make like more in-person local kind of connections and stuff. And right now, but I can't skip this one? Why? It doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. I don't get it. So that's where things currently stand in my my adventures. I might look into some of these clubs soon. I won't be able to do anything like that tomorrow because the university has said everything's online tomorrow, but maybe next week I could start coming to some of these things, maybe? We'll see. We'll certainly see what happens, and now I can skip it! I just kind of started pressing buttons randomly, and then skip came up, and I was like, okay, I guess I can skip it during, like, the second half of the cutscene, just not the first half. Wow. Rather silly, isn't it? Am I gonna be wearing that, or am I gonna be wearing my cosplay? Oh, I'm gonna be wearing my cosplay. So don't get stunned by smoke here, right? So I'll go around here in that case. I'll bring it around town. But yeah, it's been a whole situation wanting to get like more connections for the past couple of years, and COVID making things harder. And it's also been like a weird kind of situation with like university in general, where it's like, I hoped by now I'd be able to make more in-person come on, there we go. I hope I'd be able to make more in-person connections. There we go, we did it. We do not get stunned by smoke.
I got no gripe. My boss sent me over.
Because I always had like trouble making connections growing up, and it's part of the reason that I made like a channel in the first place. It's part of the reason, at least. And just wanting to like be like, hey, maybe people can actually, maybe there's some people out there that can actually really vibe with my super energetic and passionate personality that I show on the channel. Is what a lot of it. It's what a lot of it is. Do not get shot, but I don't have to worry about that because we've done it like once before. But yeah, during high school, I kind of struggled to, well, in grade school in general, I kind of struggled to, make connections with the group that I had stuck around the longest, being the German bilingual group, because there was only so many German bilingual schools. So, you know, kind of grew up with basically the same squad, the same group through all the grades. Ow, gosh darn it. But that's fine. That's fine. We've done that optional objective before. Well, there goes that guy. I always felt a little bit out of place with that group. You can parry the axe? I thought it was... I was mashing A! What the heck? Normally you don't parry the axe. Usually you press the parry button and it dodges. Only for the axe and not the... I don't know if that guy was bugged or something like that. But I always felt kind of out of place with him. There's only like one from that German group that I still talk with from time to time today. I've talked about him before. He is a dude that's 1 day older than me and likes to rub it in whenever it's his birthday, exactly 1 day before mine. We always wish each other happy birthday on a yearly basis, since we know one another's birthdays because it's 1 day apart, which is kind of kind of funny there. So I still talk with him from time to time. Might try to figure out something to do with him soon. He's talked before about potentially wanting to get into content creation. I don't know how many of my videos he's seen, but he's like seen my channel before and been like, whoa, that's so cool. Stuff. And he's talked about getting into content creation before, so who knows? Maybe I bring him on the channel one day. He's a dude I named my rival after in playthroughs like Pokemon Let's Go or Pokemon Platinum, for example. That was like my one kind of since earlier on grade school friendo that I kept after high school. Although we don't exactly talk a whole lot. Probably hope. Oh, there's the Dudo. Maybe we'll figure out something to do together in the near future. Who knows? Hi, friend. It's time. You're just chilling on the bench? Why does it say that you're an ally?
I have a clear shot.
Don't know why I had the blue marker like you were an ally. That was freaking weird. But then in terms of like other friends in high school, I had like 3 close friends that I developed like around that time. And after high school, in terms of those 3 friends, 2 of them hooked up with each other, and then I basically never really saw them again because they were, you know, constantly spending time with each other. And the last one was an antisocial weirdo that anytime you ask him if he wants to go out and do anything, he'd be like, nah, I'd rather stay home and like be alone and stuff and not do things with other people. Because he's a freaking weirdo. He was the freaking person that introduced me to Twitch in the first place. So like I mentioned my stream to him sometime after high school, since like he was the kind of person, I don't know if he still is, but he would be on Twitch all the freaking time. So I mentioned my channel to him at one point, and he responded with nice plug. And that was all that really happened, and that might have been the last time that we spoke. It might have been. But so that was like my 3 kind of close friends after high school, was those 3. So I don't really talk with any of them a whole lot anymore. And then in terms of university, it's like year 1. In my first year, there was this one person that I met in my computing science classes, where I had taken computing science in high school for 3 years. So I was a bit familiar with it already and was already like super fascinated with it and such. There was this one girl that I met in my labs who could not follow what the professors were saying at all because they also explained it really poorly. So one thing led to another, and I essentially wound up giving the lectures myself for like 3 hours on a weekly basis before each lab, and we were hanging out regularly through that. And it was like, oh, this is a connection I'll be able to keep, and like we're literally meeting like on a weekly basis. Like this seems like a close-knit friendship I'll be able to keep. After the semester was over, I never freaking heard from her again and couldn't get in contact anymore, and I was like, what the heck? Then a similar thing happened with physics in year 2. And then year 3 with my game making group, I finally got a connection that I kept in that class, at least. With one of the artists that was in my game making group, who was actually the person that I commissioned the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon versus Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX versus Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition story thumbnail for that one video essay. So part 1 of that 3-part video essay series, I commissioned that from her. So it was like, hey, there we go, 100% on sequences. So it's like, there's one connection that I've kept, but we don't exactly talk a whole lot, because I don't know. It's like, yeah, how do I get this last assassin interception? There's one missing, but how do I unlock it? Is the question. Why are we bobbing there? Because it has to be in the place over here, and I don't see it on the map or anything. I'm so confused. I'm so incredibly confused. Do we want to go do the modern day stuff now? And then year 4 was like the weird year where I did open studies at like another institution while there was complications in my degree, and then came back to my university for like the 2nd semester and did some MISC stuff online. And then there's now year 5. And so like in over 4 years of university, yeah, there's been a connection that I've technically kept. We don't talk a whole lot. I want to like meet somebody that I like keep a connection with, you know? Meet some people that I can really vibe with. So the current state of things in that field is like, maybe I'll start going to like this connections and happiness kind of club. I might go to this Taekwondo one. I'm gonna have to like look into it and such, and we'll see what happens, I guess, is basically the current state of things. How do we get to the subject? I think it went from clothing, too much baggage, jeans, feeling more comfortable in sweatpants because of Taekwondo, and then Taekwondo led into clubs and this whole conversation. Wow. It's crazy where rambling gets you sometimes, isn't it?